Merry Christmas, diamond painting friends. Jessica here with Tiny Worlds of Wonder. I am just delighted to have been asked by our wonderful Pippa to participate in this Diamonds Are for Christmas event coming to you from all around the world by our wonderful crafting creators here on YouTube. I have really been enjoying the ones that I've been able to catch. I hope you have as well. Now I want to do a little disclaimer up front because where I live right at this moment, it's very early in the morning and I am not going to be live on this premiere. So I do want you to enjoy yourselves, chat amongst yourselves. I'll be looking at comments, of course, but I'm not here live with you in the premiere. So I just wanted to let you know up front in case you're talking to me and I don't respond to you. That's why. It's because I'm still in bed, probably. And I did tell Pippa, Christmas is a family day for me, so I'm going to have to just put the video out, and she said that that was just fine. So please engage with each other in kind and wonderful ways in the Christmas spirit in the chat. And I am looking forward to catching up on that when I see you again. But today I thought I might join you for a little project. Now I got this very squashed box after the 11/11 sale. I was looking for a couple of little short projects I could do before Christmas that were just fun. So I actually, again, have not looked in this box. It's very squished. So I don't know. We may not be doing a project today. I'm not sure. But let's see what's in here. This is supposed to be a diamond painted clock. And I thought it was pretty dang cute, actually. So here we go. It's a little Santa Claus. He is pretty cute, I have to say. And then, of course, we need a battery in the back. So I feel like this could be interesting in the sense that I could diamond paint the whole thing and then it might not work, but I'll have fun diamond painting it anyway. And while I'm working on this, I thought I might do a little chat with you about some of my very favorite Christmas music, Christmas performances that I have given or been involved with. Because I did this once before on Drills and Chills, talked about some of my favorite spooky or Halloween pieces, and that seemed to go over pretty well. So I thought, because I'm a music teacher, as all of you know, I might let you in on a little of that. Since if you're a musician or a music teacher, Christmas is like prime time. That's when you're going to make your money, honestly. All right, so in front of me, I have my standard tools. I always need a couple of pens, my X-Acto, my tweezers, my patty wax tin. I'm all set. My coffee with froth. Life's too short for coffee without froth. Okay, so let's peel this back, see what's going on here. I hope this is not like a horrible quality item. We'll find out. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cute. This thing on the back kind of slides around. And I was expecting this to have like a holder, like something to make it stand up. But I guess I'll be propping it, or I'll be creating something after the fact that will make it stand up or attach to the wall or whatever. Let's see, I'm gonna need some scissors. Let me grab those before I get too far along in this process. Trying to think if there's any news to tell you. Like I said, I hope you've been enjoying Diamonds Are for Christmas. I thought it was a wonderful idea, and I'm so happy all of you are here watching. This is great. All right, just need to arrange my stuff here a little bit. if you guys could see around me right at the moment, you would just die because it's such a mess. Oh my goodness. Christmas is so busy. Like the whole preparation, the preparation and execution is busy, right? All right, so I'm gonna dive in just kind of in numerical order to these diamonds, and then I'll do a little chatting here. So as you know, like I just said, Christmas is like prime time for musicians and music teachers. We do a ton of performances at Christmas. Basically, you can make more money in the month of Christmas than you do almost any other time, which we're not in it to make money, but, you know, I blame Handel, like, you know, Handel's Messiah. We're going to talk about him in a minute. But it's a fun time, and with my students, I very often will do some kind of Christmas, usually more of like a charitable event. So playing at a rest home or something like that. This year, which is, pardon me, not super common, we actually just did a recital, like in a recital hall. That was a lot of fun. I usually end up playing for, typically, I didn't this year, but typically I play for a couple of school music programs, just playing the piano. And I've done a lot of singing in the past too. So I'm going to run through some of my most loved Christmas performances, my very favorite pieces. Of course, I can't play any of these for you because they're all copyrighted. 100% of them are. So I have made a Diamonds Are for Christmas music playlist where you can listen to every single piece that I'm going to talk about here. You can get to know it a little bit. Hopefully you'll listen to it over and over again because, like I said, these are my very favorite Christmas pieces. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a Christmas Mass, actually, called Lux Eterna, which translates light eternal in Latin. This is maybe the closest to a transcendent experience I've ever had while performing any piece of music. I am not a particularly religious person. However, this piece by Martin Lauridsen is my definition of transcendent. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a mass, like I said, and when you think mass in the context of the more classical music genres, what we're really talking about is a musical form, sort of like a sonata or a symphony. And a lot of these musical forms follow sort of predetermined sections and harmonies and things like that. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about a mass in this context. But Martin Lauridsen composed this piece in the late 90s, I want to say like 1997 or 8. And he composed this mass the year that his mother died, who I think he was very close to. And all of the movements, there are 5 movements, just like a typical sort of classical music genre mass would have, as well as the standard mass. And each one, I'm experiencing difficulties. Pause. My patty wax is too strong for the glue on my super cheap AliExpress clock. My drills are like, no, we're not going to stick. These are really pretty, like white ABs. I don't know if you can see. That's gonna be cute. That's gonna be cute. Yeah. Okay, anyway, All the sections of this Mass are named for different references to light in sacred Latin texts. The first section is a requiem, which is typically a piece performed in memoriam, which makes sense because of when he wrote this piece and what was going on in his life. But the basic overall gist of the first movement is rest eternal grant unto them, O Lord. It's all in Latin. The harmonies are dissonant, they're lush, they're absolutely gorgeous. Then the second movement goes on to In te Domine speravi, which is sort of like, Lord, I have hoped in you, and all the different things that the composer felt like he was being granted or gifted. Then the third movement is O Nata Lux, O Light Born from Light. Then there's a Veni Sancti Spiritus. Then there's a Agnus Dei is the fifth movement, which is pretty common with the Mass forms. So I really hope this piece, I've performed this piece in a choral setting with orchestra probably 2 or 3 times, and every time I've performed it, the audience is in tears, the choir is, if not in tears, we're all just a mess, an emotional mess afterwards. I think it is one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever composed. And that's saying something, because there's a lot of beautiful music out there. So like I said, I really hope that you will check the playlist. The whole thing is about 30 minutes long, 30 to 40 minutes long, so it's fairly long. But if you listen to a great recording with some really nice headphones, you will be transported to a different plane. Whatever that plane is for you. It is absolutely glorious. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. And if you ever get a chance to go listen to it live, it'll just change you. All this music, so much music, is intended to be heard live, right? And we sort of forget that when we get into listening to recordings of these various pieces, and they're just not that interesting. It's because the music is designed to be heard in an acoustically alive space, not in a dead room or on an MP3 with headphones. It's a different experience. So I hope if you ever get the chance to see that piece. Again, it's Lux Eterna by Morton Lordson. Yeah, it's my number one very, very favorite piece that I've ever performed. I think I need to scooch my situation here just a tiny bit. I need to move my lighting situation just a little. The light here keeps changing angles, and it's being a little tricky. Plus I've got about a ton of stuff sitting over here. All right. Yeah, I think that's a little better. You guys can let me know. I try with the lighting situation, I really do. But it's Montana and it's dark. Yesterday I was coming home from work at 3 o'clock. Those of you who live in northern climates know. I think it's dark early. I was coming home at 3 o'clock. It was starting to get twilight outside. The temperature was dropping. You can just tell it's that midwinter time of year, right? All right, so my second very favorite top Christmas performance pick is The Messiah by George Friedrich Handel. There's sort of a meme that goes around the musical world, or maybe just Facebook in general, at Christmas, and it's a meme of Handel, the composer George Friedrich Handel, saying, so you think the Messiah is overused and derivative? Well, I've been paying your salary for 200 years from the grave, so Merry Christmas, or something like that. It's really funny. But it is definitely a very often performed piece. I have sung Handel's Messiah probably no less than 10 or 15 times. It is a gorgeous piece of music. So the full Handel's Messiah is probably about 2 hours long. Coffee break. And it was composed in the 1740s, so it's a very, very old piece. Again, I could probably insert some audio here, but it's not going to be audio you want to hear because it would be public domain audio. I'll link it in the cards, a really good performance. But Handel's Messiah is an oratorio. So an oratorio was sort of like the predecessor to opera. So people would go to these big concert halls and they would listen to typically biblical texts set to music with soloists, orchestra, and choir. And because there was no TV, there was no radio, a 2-hour performance was sort of like going to a movie. It was like the closest thing you'd have to a movie in 1740. And so why not spend 2 hours doing it, you know? That's what you would do. So the first section, this is actually composed as an Easter piece. That was the intention. But it's most often performed now, I find, as a Christmas piece. And it has a couple of sections. I don't think I got all of my... I didn't get all my plastic off. No wonder that wasn't working. The first section is most often performed for Christmas. It's sort of the nativity story. And then the way it's typically performed in my community anyway is the first half and then Handel's, and then the Hallelujah Chorus. So the Hallelujah Chorus is probably the most frequently heard part of that oratorio. It is wonderful. And like literally 100% of the music I'm talking about, again, designed to be heard live. Recordings cannot do it justice because it should really knock your socks off. It should be so loud that it almost blows your eardrums right out of your head. And on a recording, it's just so hard to get that really, really good resonance. So, that is probably my second favorite Christmas performance. Again, I've probably done it at least 10 times, but it never really gets old. It has a fantastic Baroque sort of instrumentation and feel, and you really feel like when you hear it that you're stepping back in time just a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I am a history nerd. I love contemplating the fact that people have never really changed too much, and so the same thoughts, feelings, struggles, fears that we have today are the same thoughts, struggles, and fears that people had in the 1700s. Granted, the 1700s in Europe were a little different experience for some, of course, but I think the universal human emotions resonate for sure, and that's one thing I always am transported back to when I hear or perform pieces like that. All right. Oh, these cute little white ABs are really nice. Doesn't that look cute? That looks cute. All right, I really didn't know what to expect from this little project at all. We'll see. The next piece that I have performed and enjoyed, I don't know, this one might have needed to be number 2. It might have. This is a piece called Sleep by Eric Whitacre. Eric Whitacre is a choral composer chiefly, and you'll notice a lot of these pieces have choral elements just because I feel like choirs are maybe a thing more at Christmas time than any other time. Now this piece called Sleep by Eric Whitacre has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas at all, but I have performed this piece in choral ensembles several times, and it seems like they always are winter concerts, and I think it's because this piece has such a soft, lush, beautiful, resonant sort of vibe to it. And if you're a lover of modern harmonies, and by modern harmonies I just mean things that are a little more experimental in their construction, this definitely isn't too far outside the realm of being accessible for most people, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It is a beautiful piece of music. I think it was composed in the early 2000s because I've sung incarnations of this piece for a while. I feel like the text might have been different the first time I did it a little bit, but I can't completely recall. Now there is a fantastic TED Talk about this piece called, I'll link it in the playlist too, called A Virtual Choir 2,000 Voices Strong or something like that. And it's basically a project that the composer did where he let people contribute recordings of them singing the piece, and then he put them all together into a performance of 2,000 voices from all over the world, people from all walks of life. It's really a very touching and very moving video, and I think really life-affirming and positive. And I think right now in this world, we need all the life-affirming and positive and cooperative kinds of things we can get. So I really encourage you to check out both Sleep by Eric Whitacre and Eric Whitacre's TED Talk about his virtual choir 2,000 Voices Strong. They're really, really fantastic, and I think we'll just leave you with warm fuzzies, hopefully. So that is my third top piece that I've performed. It is really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. The next couple change tacks just a little bit. So I know a lot of people are maybe not as much into the classical side of things as I am, and I am just because I make my living that way. But my next favorite piece that I have performed and that I hear performed over and over and over and over again at Christmas is Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson. Of course, the famous Sleigh Ride. Now this is the piece that has the big slaps. you know the ones I'm talking about. In the orchestral version, there's some percussion effects that are really fun that make it sound like you're in a sleigh with a horse, and there's bells, and I just love this piece. So this piece was composed in the late 40s, I believe. It always reminds me of my childhood on the farm, growing up, riding around in the back of trucks and hauling Christmas trees and just in general getting into the Christmas spirit. But because I don't play any orchestral instruments, I hate feeling left out. There are tons of arrangements of this piece for piano, so it's one that I play pretty often. It's one that my students play really, really often, and it's always a lot of fun. Now, the version I've linked for you in the playlist is actually a piece or an arrangement of this for 5 pianos performed by the 5 Browns, who are 5 siblings who are Juilliard graduates and pianists. They're wonderful pianists. And it was arranged by Greg Anderson of the Anderson and Rowe piano duo, who in the classical piano world is something of a sensation. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times. He's a very, very, very nice person, as is his duo partner, and they're always a lot of fun to hear. But this arrangement is really fun. So go to the playlist, of course, check it out. The 5 Browns are amazing, and Greg Anderson is amazing as well. He arranges a lot of music for 2, 3, 4, 5 pianos, and that's a lot of fun. So the last piece that I've performed over and over at Christmas, that's one of my favorites, is Carol of the Bells, sometimes known as the Ukrainian Carol. This piece is by Mykola Leontovich, and I might not be saying that right because I don't speak Ukrainian, of course. But this piece is actually based on a Ukrainian folk song called The Little Swallow, which is a sort of a New Year's piece or song that basically has lyrics talking about bringing good fortune for the new year. And the arrangement that we know and love today originates from about the 19-teens, I want to say. And it features something in music called an ostinato. So an ostinato just means a little repeating motive. So that dun 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 dun, that's an ostinato. It happens through the whole piece in Carol of the Bells. In music, there's a fancy word for everything. So a fancy word for a repeating pattern is called an ostinato. So this piece is really, really fun to play. I have a student working on a really big, brilliant, bold arrangement of it right now. She just performed it, and it was fantastic. I've played it, I can't even count how many times I've performed this piece in different kinds of arrangements, but it is wonderful. It's very full of life, very vivacious, and I'll link just one of 1,000 versions of this piece in the playlist. So those are my top 5 Christmas pieces that I have performed: Luke's Eterna, Handel's Messiah, Sleep by Eric Whitacre, Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson, and Carol of the Bells by Mykola Leontovich. So, like I said, I hope you'll check out the playlist. Maybe you'll find a new favorite Christmas piece to enjoy. Now, of course, I want to hear what your favorite Christmas music is. It might be very different from mine. I guarantee I'm going to love it, because I'm one of those people who basically loves all music, every single kind, from everywhere. And if you are not from the United States and you have some traditional songs or carols or traditions as far as music goes that you'd like to tell me about, I would absolutely love to hear that. And if you're involved in playing music, let me know what your favorite Christmas performances have been and the pieces that most often bring you to the transcendent Christmas experience. Yeah, it's a really big joy, I think, to be a musician at Christmas. Pretty much more than any other time of the year. I mean, it's always fun, but Christmas time is just extra special. And audiences seem to be extra receptive at Christmas, so that's always a lot of fun. All right, so I'm a terrible judge of time. I was really thinking I might be able to wrap up a big portion of this clock today during the whip and chat. But I'm kind of slow. That's what I'm realizing here. So I might finish up a couple colors. We'll see. I might skip ahead to the more interesting ones. I'll take a poll here in a second. And we'll see what color you guys want to see. Even though I won't be able to hear you, I'm guaranteed if I pick one, it'll be the one that someone wanted to see. Right? So it'll be like you won the poll. Virtually. Oh, that's fantastic. So, like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying the Diamonds Are for Christmas event. I hope to catch up on as many of these videos as I possibly can. I thought this was such a fantastic idea, bringing us all together from all over the world. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing. So would you, down in the comments below, leave me a little note with, oopsies, with what you've been working on during this event, because I want to hear all about it. And if you're on Instagram, I would love to see a picture of your project with the hashtag Diamonds Are for Christmas. I'm on Instagram. Connect with me. I post progress pictures pretty often of all my whips, and I'd love to connect with you over there. Just at Tiny Worlds of Wonder, you can find me. I try to follow back a whole bunch of people so that I can see what you're working on. The only time I can't follow back is if your account is private, of course. So I might click the follow back and then it takes me to your account and I see I can't see it, and then of course I can't follow you. But if you're interested in sharing with me, I would love to see what you have going on, or your Christmas photos, or what's going on with you guys. So Pippa said in the description of this that her thoughts for this event were that we might share some of our Christmas traditions or things like that. And so I was thinking about all my Christmas traditions. And you guys, I don't honestly have tons. I mean, we eat the same food every year, and it's really, really rich, and I gained 12 pounds. That's my Christmas tradition, is how much weight I gain at Christmas every year that I have to lose. I have to lose by Easter when we eat again. But one really funny Christmas tradition that's developed at our house over the years is our Christmas village. So I think I might have to pause and offload this section of the video, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you about the Christmas village. All right. And I'll switch colors too, so I'll be back in a flash. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm back, and because that video took quite a while to offload, I actually went ahead and did a couple more colors of drills here. I did the blue, I did some of the big round gold special drills. So, just in the interest of time, you know, that way if you voted for blue, you get to see the blue all finished up. So, poll time, what do you guys want to see next? Um, green or special drills? 3, 2, 1. Special drills, of course. Everyone wants to see special drills. That's so fun. Okay, so let's do some special drills. I want to do these stars, and while I get into the stars, I'm going to tell you about the Christmas Village. Okay, so when I was a kid, I always wanted one of those Victorian Christmas villages, you know, with the cute little light up houses and all the little people and trees and animals and all that fun stuff. These are stars, they're so cute. And so as an adult, I got one of those. I have been collecting some of those over the years. And yeah, it's kind of chintzy, but I think it's cute. It's really pretty at night when it's all lit up and all that stuff. So I had this thing out. I've had it out for years, but I did not always have teenagers. And if you're a parent of teenagers, you know that the world changes when your kids become teenagers. And my kids are lovely, and they're very like artsy, creative types. So I'm not gonna lie to you. They're kind of weirdos, like in a good way. I think in a good way. Hopefully the whole world thinks in a good way. But one thing they love to do is just leave things around the house that really make me laugh. So like they will stick giant googly eyes on the milk jug in the fridge, or like things like that are just funny. And it just makes my life fun. But they have completely disrespected, at this point, my Victorian Christmas village that was once lovely. It has now become their art piece. So this all started maybe like, they're 17 now, so it probably started when they're about 14 or 15. I walked out of my bedroom in the morning and there was absolute carnage in my Christmas village. Now I'll stick a picture in here of the very first incident that happened with my Christmas village. I walk out, there's a ginormous plastic dragon eating my Victorian villagers in a very graphic fashion. My artsy daughter had literally like created a big like bloody wreckage on my Victorian village. These are really pretty. I'm gonna do these now. And it was just gross. I was like, you guys, as funny as that is, I have like 12 little children coming to the house today. You can't just leave this in the house. And so I think my horror at that, well, not horror, I thought it was hilarious. It is hilarious. But I did have like 5 or 6 like kindergartners coming to the house that day. And so I had to take it apart. And while it made me sad to do that, I think it just fueled the fire even more, if you know what I'm saying. So since that time, it has become a tradition at my house for my kids to basically ruin my Christmas village in any possible way they can. So the incidents over the years, if I can find some pictures, I'll stick them in here because it's much more entertaining to see what I'm actually talking about than for me to just tell you. But over the years, these things have ranged from like burning people at the stake. Yeah, I think that was one year they made like Mrs. Pickering was accused of being a witch. So it was like the Salem witch trials. And then, let me think, what are some other ones? One was like, I think it was inspired by Little Shop of Horrors. And so one of the villagers was like getting sucked into the underworld by one of the houses that had come to life. else? Oh, good grief. Oh, one time I think it was after the buildings had come to life, all of the villagers, some of the villagers were dressed up as superheroes like Batman and Superman and I forget what. But they were like coming to save the day, basically. And then last year's like ultimate capstone project for them was making like a giant Ghostbusters scene, and I don't have a picture of this one, and I really wish I did. Maybe I'll find one. I don't know. But it was like my Christmas snowman had come to life and there was like Ghostbuster style plasma made out of pipe cleaners going everywhere. And it was probably the most elaborate one they've done. Let's pick another color. Let's do these big round gold ones. There was only 2 of those really pretty diamond ones. Yeah, so this year my kids have not been home a whole lot in the evenings because they are so busy. School is really intense right now for them. And so I will say I miss like my daily dose of hilarity from the Christmas Village. But this year so far we've had a friend of mine has a 3D printer and her husband 3D prints cool stuff. So he was practicing his 3D printer and he printed a couple of these octopuses. And so I brought them home for the kids and I was like, look what Mike made for you. This is going to be really fun for you to have. And so the next day I came out and the 3D printed octopuses had been transformed into squid from outer space that were like attacking my Christmas village. And that was pretty funny. And then this morning I got up and they had repurposed the 3D printed octopuses into snails, and they were having like the 56th annual snail or shellfish Grand Prix or something. So it's just like gotten out of control, you guys. Like whatever they can think of to do with my Christmas village, they will do. Nothing is sacred around here. And that's just how it is. I just have to get used to it. So, but it is pretty entertaining, I have to say. Okay, what shall we do? Would you like green or green or green? Green, good choice. Good choice. Let's do the brightest green first. You guys are so fun. Okay. I feel like viewers of my channel probably have an equally weird sense of humor to myself. And so I feel like maybe we're all kindred spirits around here. I appreciate that a lot. So, what am I doing today for Christmas? Well, when you see this, last night, I will have gone to my sister's house. She lives really close to me. She's a first grade teacher. God bless her, for real. She works in a low-income school here in my town. Works with kids who just have a lot of issues. Kids who don't as well. There's a big variety. But she deals with a lot of stuff, and I admire her a whole bunch. She's an amazing person. So her and my brother-in-law live only about a block from me, and so we'll head over there, hang out with the dogs. She has 2 corgis, and they're really cute. So we'll all go hang out. We'll have round of eating number 1, which basically involves hors d'oeuvres and heavy appetizers, and probably, if we can wrangle my brother into playing some board games, that could happen. I think my brother's philosophy with board games is that they're called board games for a reason, because they're so boring to do. But we'll see if we can get him involved. One year, my darling sister tried to get us all involved in a game of Christmas charades, which my brother was not super game for, I have to say. So, all right. I don't know how much my siblings want me to share about them on the channel, but my brother is a unique character for sure. My brother is an electrician by trade, but my brother is a rock, like he is a stinking amazing rock guitarist. Like really good, really good. He's written music, he's had his own band, he's played around, he is really, really good. So it's funny because I'm like a classical pianist and he's a rock guitarist. And yeah, we've played together before. I actually played keyboard in a band that we sort of were in together there for a while. And it was a lot of fun because he wrote a lot of the music that we played. So that was a blast. But he is a rock guitarist in spirit too. So in the sense that board games are kind of uncool, I think. So we'll see if we can rope him in to some of that nonsense and some of that tomfoolery, as he would call it. And then today on Christmas, we will be hosting everybody at our house. So the mom, the brother, the sister, the respective significant others. And my siblings actually don't have any children themselves, so my daughters are the kids, even though they're barely kids anymore. So we'll just hang out and we'll have good times. It'll be a lot of fun. I thought I saw a yellow AB in here somewhere. Let's do the yellow AB while we round things out here. That'll be fun. So, I would love to hear what you have going on for Christmas. If you have diamond painting going on for Christmas, that is pretty awesome. Like I said, I want to hear all about what you're working on, because I can't think of a better way to spend Christmas than diamond painting. It's pretty exciting. I have to admit, I'm kind of jealous of you, if that's what you're doing today. Yeah, so that's what's going to be going on around here. We will do, of course, some gifts, but we try to keep that pretty minimal in our family. We don't go too all out with it. Yeah, that's because I think Christmas gets a little bit materialistic. And yeah, I think it's important to remember what it's all about for you, whatever that might be. For me, it's sort of about spending time with family, being grateful for all the things in my life that are wonderful. And I think, yeah, I think it's nice to reflect on things that are blessings in your life, in my life. So that's what we try to do. And like I said, there's a lot of eating. There's a lot of eating. So we're doing turkey and a Christmas beef, which my grandpa always did. My grandparents always did Christmas beef. And then we always do turkey as well. And it's ridiculous because there's not that many of us. And we don't need that. But then we have to lose all the weight before Easter. Yeah. And now that my kids are a little older, both of them work retail jobs. So it feels like, because they so often work the weekends, we just have to squeeze in that family time whenever we possibly can. And now that they're nearing growing their wings and flying off and doing their own adult things, that it just feels like every year we have them is extra special, if that makes sense. So this Christmas season we've really enjoyed. We've tried to make it a point every weekend to sit down and play a game or watch a movie or something like that. That's just a little bit more, so we can make a little bit more of a connection than just saying hi to each other, you know, or have a good day at school or whatever. So yeah, that's what's going on around here. Let me know what's going on with you. And like I said, connect on Instagram. I'd love to see all of your Diamonds Are for Christmas creations. I am steadily working away on my Victorian magazine cover canvas, my Puck magazine cover. And because that is a 70 by 90 canvas, it's slow. It's a big kahuna. I was hoping to get to, my goal was to get half of it finished this year and then maybe half of it next year, just because I work 2 jobs and my diamond painting time is pretty much limited to between 10 o'clock and midnight every night. And I love to do it. I love to set up my diamond painting stuff and do that because I am kind of a night owl. So that's what I do at night, but I do find that it's hard to get big canvases done with a lot of progress very quickly. So I'm revising my goal a little bit. I was thinking I might get half of it. I would just be happy getting to a couple of faces at this point, because I've been diamond painting the confetti in the curtains and the title, the Puck title, on the magazine cover for the last couple of weeks, and I'm just ready to get to some faces. You guys may have seen that I also am working on the Santa face from Diamond Art Club. I had an unboxing up on the channel and then I had to pull it down just because I reached out to the McNeil studio to get permission to display that one and I never heard a word back. So I really would like to show you that one. I think it'd be good for you to see it. But like I said in a recent Whip and Chat, I think it was last week's Whip and Chat, all those permissions are tricky. They're kind of hard to get. A lot of people are really willing to let me show stuff on the channel, which is wonderful, and I'm really grateful. But on those couple of things where you just don't hear back and you're kind of in limbo, that's kind of, I almost wish you would hear like no. Even no would be better than nothing, it feels like sometimes. But yeah, so I'm working on that one too. So I'm kind of dividing my time. I'm just sort of having to do that one just for my own personal enjoyment at this point, which is fine. The quality of that canvas itself for that piece is phenomenal. The rendering, I'm still deciding on that. So, but I am enjoying working on it. And because it's round, it's much, much faster than the puck canvas, which is kind of slow. But yes, I was scoping out Heaven and Earth Designs in their website the other day, and I saw a couple of, I think it's Yvonne Gilbert's patterns that I'm like sitting on my hands trying not to buy those patterns. I do cross stitch some, but I'm very slow, and so I'm thinking possibly about working on one of those as a diamond painting, because there are a couple on there that are just so beautiful. A couple Christmas ones too that I'd love to finish up puck so that I could do one of those next year, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll have to do a Christmas in July event. Then I can finish up puck and then start something else. Because I would love to be able to get through projects a little bit faster, but yeah, it's just the way life is right now, you know? Tell me in the comments, like, how long would it take you to do a 70 by 90 canvas? Would that be a really extensive project for you, or would that be something that doesn't take you too long? If it doesn't take you too long, I'm going to be jealous, but happy for you. I'm going to be jealous, but happy for you. These yellow ABs are so pretty. Okay, I think, you guys let me know what you think. I think this is turning out really cute. Of course, I'm not going to finish it in our hour. Of course, we're almost at an hour right now. But I will definitely show you what the finished project looks like when I get it all put together. Hopefully I can work on it a little tonight and then maybe show you the result at the end of the video. But next up in our lineup for Diamonds Are for Christmas is going to be, I wrote it down just so in case I had a 40-year-old moment, I wouldn't forget. And then now, of course, I am having a 40-year-old moment. Tia's Crazy Craft Addiction. So be sure to head over to Tia's Crazy Craft Addiction if you want the fun to continue. I hope you'll check out all of the Diamonds Are for Christmas videos by so many creators all around the world. Huge, huge thanks to Pippa for organizing all of this and being in communication with all of us. And there are tons of us. Pippa, you're amazing. This is a fantastic idea. I hope all of you have enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to reading all of your comments. Now, I want you to, if you've been sitting here doing diamond painting, I want you to take care of your health. Go get a drink of water or something more fun, because it's Christmas, you know? Do a toast. Cheers to us, right? Yeah, get some Irish cream or something. Take care of your health and get some Irish cream. But get up, walk around, get your circulation going a little bit, take a potty break, then head on over to Tia's Crazy Craft Addiction, where the fun will continue. And as always, the fun will continue here on Tiny World of Wonder as well. So check back soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here today. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I am wishing you all the peace, love, and joy I can possibly muster. I care about each and every one of you, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Sending you lots of love and spreading some joy to you wherever you are. Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.